What if I told you there's a word so powerful, so dangerous, that just saying it out loud is forbidden? Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into the Yanomami name taboo, a sacred rule where speaking a single name can lead to rage, spiritual warfare, and, even death threats.
Okay, let's just let that sink in for a second. Fly into a rage or even make death threats. I mean, wow. This isn't some ancient history either. When researchers like Napoleon Chagnon were doing fieldwork, they'd ask for people's names to build family trees. Seems harmless, right? Well, they were unknowingly breaking one of the most sacred rules in Yanomami culture. And the reaction, it was immediate and it was intense.
So that brings us to the big question, right? Why? Why is just speaking a name so incredibly dangerous? This goes way beyond simple etiquette or being polite. We're about to unpack how this one rule is tangled up with everything: grief, how the community holds together, and even their connection to the spirit world.
All right, so to really get our heads around this, we've got to peel it back like an onion, layer by layer. And the first layer, the most personal one, is all about the emotional weight that a name carries.
You know, this whole thing really starts from a place of deep, personal grief. For the Yanomami, mourning isn't something you just sit with quietly. No, it's an active process, something the entire community has to work on together. So at the heart of all this is a concept called pihi. You can think of it as, well, a person's spirit, their inner thoughts, their very essence. And when someone dies, the number one priority for the whole community is to protect the pihi of the living.
And here's the crucial link. A name isn't just a tag you put on someone. For the Yanomami, saying the name of a person who has died, it's like a psychic jolt. It actively yanks those memories back to the surface, rips open old wounds, and causes real, tangible pain.
So the goal for everyone in the community is to get to what they call a calm pihi, basically a state of peace. But saying that forbidden name, it does the exact opposite. It makes the spirit heavy, just weighed down by sorrow, and it completely derails the healing process for everyone.
This is the key takeaway here. Forgetting is not passive. It is an active, communal job. To help the living heal and get back to that calm pihi, every single trace of the person who passed has to go. Their physical remains, all their possessions, and absolutely, most importantly, their name.
Okay, so it's not just about individual feelings, not by a long shot. This taboo has a massive social purpose. Breaking this rule isn't just, being rude. It's seen as a full-on attack against the entire community. And get this, from their point of view, there's no such thing as an accident. You don't just slip up and say a forbidden name. It's so deeply offensive that if you do it, everyone assumes it's on purpose. A calculated, hostile act designed to hurt people.
And that right there, that explains the quote we started with. It's why those anthropologists got such a violent response. It wasn't just mild annoyance, it was pure rage. A family member's grief instantly turns into fury because to them, you've just intentionally harmed them, emotionally and spiritually.
So you might be wondering, how do they even talk to each other? Well, they have these really clever linguistic workarounds. They'll use nicknames based on appearance, like Shorty, or refer to someone by their relationship, like so-and-so's brother. It's a whole system that lets them navigate daily life without ever stepping on this cultural landmine.
All right, we've talked about emotions and social rules, but now we're going to the deepest and maybe the most powerful layer of this whole thing, the spiritual danger. And this affects both the living and the dead.
See, for the Yanomami, a name isn't just a label. Think of it more like a direct phone line to a person's soul, their essence. It's a fundamental belief, and it doesn't matter if you're alive or dead. That connection is always there. And that connection, that vulnerability, can actually be exploited. The belief is that an enemy shaman can hear someone's name, and that name acts like a spiritual GPS. It allows them to pinpoint that person's soul and launch an attack, so a name can literally become a weapon.
So you can see the logic, right? If a name makes a living person vulnerable to a spiritual attack, just imagine how much more dangerous it is after someone has died. Saying their name could actually endanger their soul on its journey in the spirit world. So the silence, it's a shield. It's spiritual protection.
Okay, so let's tie all of this together. We have the emotional piece, the social piece, and the spiritual piece. Let's look at how they all combine to make this taboo so incredibly important.
As you can see, this isn't about just one thing.
It's a whole system, all woven together. You've got the need to manage grief, the need to keep the peace in the community, and the need for spiritual safety. It's all connected.
When you boil it all down, not speaking a name is actually an act of incredible respect and care. It's a promise the community makes to each other. We're going to protect you from sorrow. We're going to protect our village from conflict, and we're going to protect your soul from harm.
And that kind of leaves us with a question to chew on, doesn't it? I mean, while the details here are specific to the Yanomami, this core idea, it's not so foreign. Just think about it for a second. What names in our own world have that kind of power? The power to bring back a flood of memories, to make you feel respect or even fear. Turns out, the power packed into a name is something we can all understand.